I'm sure I knew the first time I met Ruth Cardello that I would love working with her. She came to our writers' meeting after having had a negative experience at another writers' meeting, and she was trepidatious to say the least. She sat down next to me and almost fainted when I told her I was already published. She talked about at the last meeting where they told her that reading her work made them want to bang their head against the wall. And her humor, her vivacity, everything attracted me to her. But the most important thing was when I heard her writing for the first time, she's magic. She is one talented lady, and I knew that if I ever had a chance to work with her, I would do so. And it's a pleasure to be working with her now. When did you first start writing?
I've always been writing, but I finished my first book about 6 years ago.
Did you ever think about giving up writing?
Right before I joined a group where I met you, Annette, I had met a woman who said that my writing was so bad that she would bang her head on the wall till it bled from my writing. And I decided then that I would either grow a thicker skin or just give up the dream. And I've grown a thicker skin, I think.
When you started writing, did you originally intend to publish traditionally?
Absolutely. I think the dream of every writer is to have that phone call where you get an agent and you have a publishing house. But that call didn't come for me.
What made you take the road less traveled?
Well, I think after a series of rejections from agents and publishing houses, I decided that either my book was going to stay on my desktop where nobody would ever read it, Annette, or I would take the plunge and self-publish.
You've done a good job so far. People call you a pioneer in self-publishing. What do you have to say to that?
I don't feel like a pioneer, and sometimes I don't even feel published. I'll tell you honestly, it is scary to put your book out there and to self-publish and not to have that validation of the agent or the publishing house that chose you. But I think that you just can't give up on your dream. You just have to keep going. I believe that I can do it, and I'm going to do it.
How has this self-publishing road treated you?
When I put my first book up for free, I thought the most amazing thing was I had about 200,000 people download it. And I thought there is absolutely nothing better than having that many people read it. And then when my second book went up and people started to pay for it, I thought there is something better than having people just read it. Getting paid is pretty wonderful.
What does the life of a part-time writer look like, specifically your life on a writing day?
Oh, Annette, it's crazy. I wake up at 5 o'clock because I have a 1-year-old, and she wakes up at 7 o'clock. So there's 2 hours of either planning out my next book or doing some sort of promotion. And then I have to make sure that I'm writing while she's napping because being a mom is my priority. And then after she goes to sleep at night, that's when I do my writing. And I'm so lucky that I have a family who supports me and that I have weekend babysitters who help me out.
You don't have an editor that's given you a date that says you have to have it to me by. So what motivates you?
My dream, my drive, I have to come up with my own deadlines. But if I don't keep these promises to myself, it's not going to happen. So I gave myself end of summer to come up with my second book, and I did it. And I'm giving myself to the end of next summer because I'm realistic, but I'm trying to move that deadline closer. But my first priority is always my family.
And your readers are anxious to read that third book, so I can understand that because I'm one of them.
I hope so. Thank you.
Where do you see yourself going with your writing?
My dream for next year would be to be writing full-time. Because I'll tell you, this past summer when I wrote from 8 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock every day, and I was able to just close my laptop and be mom for the rest of the day, that was my dream come true. Now, if I could take that and also support my family, I would love it. I would just love it. I would be so happy.
You're going to make it.
I hope so.